not going to rush coming back. It's just not worth it. But
yeah, if she says not going to rush coming back and she's being reevaluated the weekend, she's not playing that Atlanta Dream game.
Obviously, adrenaline covers up a lot of stuff when you're in the heat of battle. And after the game, I had some pain, and then got an MRI, and that kind of gave me the result that I didn't want to see. But those type of things don't lie. So yeah.
Caitlin Clark just broke her silence, and what she said has fans questioning everything they thought they knew. After days of rumors swirling online, from injury conspiracy theories to comeback countdowns, Clark finally gave an update. And it wasn't just about her health, it was raw, honest, and a little surprising, because behind the highlight reels and sold-out arenas, the WNBA's biggest rising star is battling something you can't always see on the stat sheet. And now, we finally know the truth, but what Caitlin revealed might just change how you see her entire season.
I think there's a 0% chance we see Caitlin Clark on Tuesday. For me, it just doesn't make any sense.
No one saw it happen. Not the announcers, not the fans, not even Caitlin Clark herself. At least not right away.
Happened during a game or anything, or is it just something that was lingering that popped up?
It happened in the Liberty game, yeah.
It was early in the game against the New York Liberty. Clark was doing what she always does, running the offense, hitting shots, leading the team with that signature fire. To everyone watching, it looked like just another night for one of basketball's brightest stars, but something was already off. There was no dramatic fall, no moment where she clutched her leg or needed help off the court. She kept playing like nothing was wrong. But after the game, the pain set in, and it didn't go away. That's when the red flag started waving. The medical team ran tests. Then came the MRI. And the result? Not just surprising, disappointing. Clark didn't say what the scan showed, but the way she described it said enough. Not the result I wanted to see, she admitted. And just like that, she was out. No big announcement, no flashy headline, just silence. And in that silence, the rumors exploded. Fans started asking questions. Was she more seriously hurt than they were letting on? Was this just a short recovery or the start of something worse? Online forums, social media threads, even national sports outlets started spinning their own theories. Was the WNBA hiding the real story? Was Caitlin Clark pushing herself too far? Why wasn't there a clear update? But through all of it, Clark stayed quiet. Until now, because this week, she finally spoke up. And what she revealed made everything a whole lot clearer, and even more intense. For days, fans were left in the dark. No return date, no press release, just whispers. Some said she'd be back in a week. Others feared she might be out for months. And then there were the wild theories. Everything from secret surgery to WNBA pressure behind the scenes. But now, Caitlin Clark has finally spoken. And while she didn't give an exact return date, she confirmed one thing loud and clear. She's being reevaluated this weekend. That's the first official step we've heard from her team. And after that, it's a day-by-day process. Clark made it clear. She feels good, the rehab is working, and she's made a lot of progress. But she's not rushing anything. In her words, it's just not worth it. That's a bold statement coming from someone who's admitted she's not the most patient person. But it also shows just how serious she's taking this, because one wrong move, and she risks setting herself back even further. So is Tuesday's game a possibility? Technically, yes, but she's not making any promises. And honestly, that uncertainty only raises more questions. Is the team being overly cautious? Or is this injury more unpredictable than anyone realized? Because when even Clark doesn't know how she'll feel waking up tomorrow, no one else does either. Physically, Caitlin Clark is healing. But mentally, that's where the real battle has been. This is the first time in her college or pro career that she's been out for an extended stretch. No practices, no game nights, no rhythm, just watching, waiting. And for someone as wired for competition as Clark, that's a brutal shift. She admitted it outright. Not a very patient person. Being sidelined forced her to confront something she's never really had to face. Stillness. No fast breaks, no buzzer beaters, just slow daily rehab and the humbling process of learning to sit with the frustration. And for Clark, the hardest part hasn't just been missing games. It's been missing practice. That's right. She actually loves practice. Competing with her teammates, working on her game, grinding, improving. While most players dread those long hours in the gym, Clark lives for them, and being cut off from that part of the process, that hit harder than anyone realized. But instead of spiraling, she pivoted. She focused on something she could control, being a better teammate, staying present, being vocal, helping however she could from the sidelines. That shift in mindset didn't just help her cope, it's helped her grow. When you're not on the court, you don't just lose your stats. You lose your voice, your influence, your identity. But Caitlin Clark refused to fade into the background. Instead, she leaned in even harder. If she couldn't lead with her game, she was going to lead with her presence. From the bench, Clark became the team's eyes, ears, and energy. She stayed locked in during every timeout, huddle, and halftime, passing along insights, encouraging teammates, even spotting things the coaches might miss. She called it being a connector, someone who bridges the gap between the coaching staff and the players. And that's exactly what she became. Whether it was in the locker room or on the sideline, she made her voice heard, not with ego, not with noise, but with purpose. And what's wild is this role wasn't planned. Clark's never been injured long enough to be forced into this kind of leadership. But now, it's become one of the most powerful parts of her game, because great players don't just lead when the lights are on, they lead when no one's watching, and Clark's showing she can do both. While the outside world panicked, Fever head coach Steph White saw something else, an opportunity. From the very start, she challenged Caitlin Clark to use this time not as a setback, but as a masterclass. Watching from the bench may seem like a passive role, but for someone like Clark, it became something else entirely. A new lens, a fresh angle, a chance to slow the game down and see it from a coach's perspective, and Clark took it seriously. She sat beside the coaching staff during games, soaked up every conversation, and dissected plays in real time. And in that process, something clicked. Clark realized how much you miss when you're in the heat of the moment. On the floor, instincts take over. But from the bench, you see everything. The defensive rotations, the miscommunications, the little details that make the difference between winning and losing. She started noticing things even the coaches didn't see, and she used that knowledge to help her teammates adjust mid-game. It wasn't just film study, it was a crash course in elite-level basketball IQ. And when she finally returns, she won't just be a better player physically, she'll be smarter, sharper, and more dangerous than ever before. Caitlin Clark says she feels good. The rehab is working. She's hitting milestones. But here's the part that has fans on edge. No one's sure what happens next. Not even her. She'll be reevaluated this weekend, but she's not circling any dates on the calendar. No countdown, no dramatic comeback announcement. Just one phrase, day by day. And that says a lot. Because while she may be eager to get back out there, Clark made one thing crystal clear. She's not rushing this. There's too much at stake. Not just for the Fever's season, but for her future. One misstep, one rushed return, and everything she's built could be at risk. She even admitted how hard it is to hold herself back. The competitive drive is still there. The urge to jump into practice, to play through it, that doesn't just go away. But she's forcing herself to think bigger, to think long-term. And that maturity, that restraint, that's the sign of someone who's not just a star, but a pro. Still, fans can't help but ask, if she feels ready, why not play? And with Tuesday's game on the horizon, the buzz is only growing louder. Losing your star point guard mid-season is enough to derail most teams. But the Indiana Fever, they didn't fold, they adjusted. With Clark on the sidelines, the offense had to shift. Roles were shuffled. New faces stepped up. And suddenly, players who weren't used to leading had to carry the load. It wasn't perfect. There were missteps, awkward moments, games where the offense looked unsure of itself. But slowly, something started to click. In their recent win over the Mystics, the Fever looked different. Faster, more fluid, more confident. Clark saw it too. From the bench, she noticed the pace picking up, the team flowing better. And even though she wasn't on the court, you could see her pride from the sidelines. But it wasn't just offense. Clark pointed out the defense still needed work. And that's the mindset she brings. Celebrate the wins, but never stop improving. Then there's the new addition, Ari McDonald. Clark had only seen her for a couple practices, but she was already impressed. McDonald came in prepared, knew the playbook, brought toughness and energy. It was the kind of spark the team needed to keep momentum alive. And through it all, Clark stayed locked in, leading from the bench, uplifting teammates, acting like a second coach in sneakers. The Fever aren't just surviving without her, they're evolving. And that's going to matter a lot when she finally comes back. For weeks, rumors filled the silence. Some said Caitlin Clark was hiding the severity of her injury. Others claimed the WNBA was downplaying it to protect their biggest draw. There were even whispers that she was being pressured to return early by sponsors, networks, and even fans. But now, we know the real story. Clark didn't rush to speak out because she was too busy doing the work. She didn't owe anyone a timeline because she was focused on healing the right way. Her update wasn't flashy. It wasn't dramatic, but it was real. She's getting better. She's staying patient. And most importantly, she's in control. Still, questions remain. Will she play Tuesday, or will she need more time? That's the tension hanging in the air right now. Because with Clark, it's never just about when she plays, it's about how she returns. And if this time off has truly sharpened her mind, strengthened her resolve, and fueled her fire, then her comeback won't just be a return. It'll be a warning shot to the rest of the league. Caitlin Clark may not have given us a date, but her message was loud and clear. She's coming back when she's ready. And when she does, she's coming back stronger. This injury didn't break her. It built her. She's learning, evolving, leading in new ways. From watching film with the coaches to guiding teammates from the bench, she's becoming more than just a scorer. She's becoming a full-blown floor general. And when she steps back onto that court, she won't just be returning to the game, she'll be returning with deeper vision, a sharper edge, and a fire that's only grown during her time away. The question now isn't if she'll come back, it's how dangerous she'll be when she does. Because if this is the calm, the comeback might just shake the league. Don't miss what happens next. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because when Caitlin Clark returns, it's going to be must-watch basketball. Drop a comment. Do you think she's coming back this week, or should she take more time? Let's talk about it.